Hello, ministry partners. Hope you had a great Super Bowl weekend. Hope you've been enjoying Illini basketball. Granted, I'm recording this on Friday before the Wisconsin game, so we'll see how we're doing. We are just underway in our February month on mission here with Cru at U of I. And also this weekend is our winter conference. There's a lot going on right now. We're excited to update you guys on life and ministry here at U of I. So students have been back for a couple of weeks. They're mostly still on Zoom classes. I've heard from some students that they have a few in person, but for the most part, because of how cold it is and still COVID concerns, mostly campus is shut down. We're able to meet with students, but there's not a lot, you don't see a lot of activity basically. We still do our large group meetings on Thursday nights on Zoom, but actually this semester we've started something new, and we are trying to basically do content for students in a different way. Instead of one speaker each week speaking through a book of the Bible or on some topic to students, instead we're taking a topic and we're kind of having a little roundtable discussion with a few staff on our team talking about that particular topic. And so it's been a lot of fun. We've only done it 2 times so far. I was a part of the first group. Brooke is actually going to be a part of the next group coming up here, but those conversations have been really, really fun, talking about things like how to live your life on mission in everyday life, and then also basically what it looks like for us to spend time with God in our personal times, how some members of our staff team have quiet times and spend time reading the Word and time with Jesus. And yeah, I think students have really enjoyed those so far. It's a new way of doing Cru, but it's a way that feels less like students are getting lectured on Zoom yet again by someone else, and so we wanted to kind of switch things up in that way, and it's been good so far.
Similarly, became a Christian my sophomore year, junior year in college, and I remember hearing the lingo quiet time, and I'm like, what the heck are these Christians talking about? Like, what do you mean quiet time? And so I feel like for me, initially spending time with God was it's kind of like when you try a new sport and you're watching people how they move, but you're so clunky at it and you're like, what's happening? That was me totally. I'm like, okay, they read the Bible. Okay, they light a candle. Okay, they make coffee. All right,
I'm missing the candle in my time.
I know. I'll hook you up. But I feel like over time, it's been really sweet to see just I don't need, spending time with God. It's not this recipe. It doesn't look the same for everyone. It's not this rigid thing. But really, it's just being with God. And I've just found so much freedom in that. So that's helped take different shape and what it looks like for me. But I do have the North Star of being in the Word informs how I spend time with God. It informs who He is and how I want to respond to Him and how I want to respond in my life and maybe what I'm wanting to pray about and in prayer, in these different spaces, whether I'm running or whether I'm, in nature, whatever. Just getting to talk with God totally is where I feel like God aligns my heart and my desires with His. So those are kind of guiding principles for sure.
We've set up our basement as kind of a studio, and so that's been even kind of fun, having just a small group of staff come over each week to do that and to put on this little mini, almost podcast type production. Has been fun doing that, fun being a part of that. Amidst COVID, it's we haven't really been able to get together as staff all that much actually in ways like this, and so that's actually been really, really fun. A big life thing that Brooke and I have going on right now is, as of a week ago we have a new roommate now. Her name is Jess. She is on staff with us at Cru, and she is basically in this little interim period from she is over the rest of this semester going to kind of be finishing up her time with Cru here at U of I and transitioning to overseas ministry, and before she leaves during that little period of time until maybe September or so, she's living with us, living with a family of 5 and 3 crazy kids who are still obsessed with her, obsessed with their new roommate and things like that. So, but yeah, Jess is awesome. We've loved having her over this week, and she's going to be such an incredible blessing to our family. If you want to see a clip that expresses who Rin is to a T, here you go. So with our movement, we have made the month of February what we are calling a month on mission. Obviously, we want every month to be on mission, but we're really trying to have our students really kind of be bold and courageous in their everyday lives, and even think strategically about how they can be a witness to people around them, how they can care for non-Christian friends and people in their lives, and even start up new relationships with non-Christians who are kind of in their vicinity in life. And so amidst COVID, there's obviously challenges, but yeah, we're in the first week of it, and we've already heard cool stories from students taking steps of faith and how they've kind of seen God at work in their relationships with the non-Christians who are in their lives. We want students now to learn how to almost set up next steps that they can take with the people in their lives, how they can build that relationship one step further, how they can even get one step further into a spiritual conversation or sharing the gospel with them, bringing them into their lives in some way. We think that, this month on mission is a really great applicable thing for our students for the rest of their lives. I mentioned winter conference, and it's this weekend. Typically, winter conference is over Christmas break, but because of COVID things, basically they moved it back and it is online only. It's a virtual conference. This winter conference is super influential every year for students in our movement. And I pray, even with it being virtual, I would ask that you guys pray that it would be the exact same thing. That it would be super impactful in our students' lives. So month on mission would be a big prayer request, and that God would use this weekend, during this weekend, and even in the weeks after, as students wrestle with what they've heard and what they've learned. Pray that God would use that in really big ways, and our seniors down through our freshmen. Pray for that as well. And then I think another prayer request we would have is we're in this weird limbo time, I feel like, where weather is still cold, so we're still restricted on doing things outside. There is more freedom for meeting with students in person and doing things on campus than before, but there are still some restrictions, obviously some COVID restrictions, and so I think I would just ask that you guys would pray for us as we navigate the weird limbo of things are kind of opening up and yet still restricted. How do we do that well? How do we do Bible studies well? How do we do discipleship one-on-one with students well? How do we do our large group Thursday night meetings well? And even we still have dreams of doing fun social events and like a big retreat later this spring. We obviously want to be wise and be careful, but also we really want to get our students together with people in person. That's been such a rare thing this school year. And so pray that we can navigate that kind of limbo time well, as I'm sure tons of you guys are feeling it in your own lives and maybe in your own churches, your own small groups, whatever it might be, workplaces, figuring out that limbo of, hey, maybe we're going to be able to open up more, or already are, but we're still restricted in some way and restricted by weather still and things like that. So just, pray for us in ministry as we navigate that limbo. As always, we're thankful for you guys, and amidst a school year of so many twists and turns related to COVID and some even unrelated to COVID, we are so thankful for your guys' consistency. We truly feel the steadfastness and immovability of God in you guys, and in how consistent and steadfast you guys have been in encouraging and supporting us, supporting the ministry here at U of I with Cru. We are so thankful for you guys in that way in particular. Again, we would love to be praying for you guys. We'd love to hear specific prayer requests you guys might have, and just how life is going, how you're handling, again, this weird time in COVID season. We'd love to hear from you guys, but as always, super thankful for you guys. We'll be in touch soon.